What's up, everyone? Sundown here, and we're going to take a second to play a fun game called Clip Mania, where we go through some of the past clips and plays that happened on broadcast and, drop a little rating on them, see what went down, and just kind of see what happened.
Shotgun there.
All right, so hopping into clip number one. He's in a pretty good spot, has the glider into launch. Oh, no.
Typically, you see people leave.
Oh, the heavy marauder coming out, too, with the squad dropping it down. You could hear the caster's reaction. That's so unfortunate. Oh, well, if the person who eliminated him was the heavy marauder right there, knocking him down from the fall damage. But he had the glider gun, so just not quick enough reaction times, unfortunately. All right, on to clip number two. Arkham here, coming down from the high ground. It's a nice little shot. Ooh, a follow-up shot was so good. That was so brilliant. Arkham's such a beast. So right before the end there, I'm not sure how much he had at the start when he dropped down, but the lowest Arkham went to was 3 HP right before getting that double elim on the edge of the zone. So well done from him there to clutch up. All right, clip number 3 here. Oh, Jesus. Jump scare enough. Keep an eye, got some apples hanging on there. What was the color of his beanie? That's a fantastic question. What skin was he playing? Being colorblind definitely doesn't help this. I want to say, I think it was yellow.
What is this?
What was that?
Okay.
Like, what's going on?
Ketsui, all the shark going on here.
There's no grappler here. They
Oof.
actually are.
That's such a weird fight. Just dropping in immediately onto the charged shotgun. Like,
the easiest elim.
as Paula said, easiest elim we've ever seen. My lord. Who is cute is the person he eliminated. I think the name began with a C. I don't know. That was gonna slip on me, unfortunately. All right, everyone, that's all we have for this segment, but stay tuned for future references to Clip Mania, and make sure you keep an eye on the little things.
Welcome back, everybody, to the DreamHack Open featuring Fortnite. This is the NA West semifinals. My name is Fallout, joined with the one and only Cam, aka Sundown. It is an absolute honor to be casting alongside a longtime friend of 10+ years. Sonny, we're doing it again, baby. I'm too excited.
Doing it again, hopping on in and out today. If you guys did join us yesterday, we were viewing from the players' perspectives. Now that we're in the semifinal round, we'll be back on those server replays. You can see the bus path on the left-hand side of your screen. On the top right, we have Extra Quinn, aka Rich Homie Quinn. Saw him knock out 3 victory royales in the second heat yesterday. And then 100 Thieves, Arkham, aka the best of the West, Mr. 560 plus in the first one, now dropping over at Authority, seeing if he can contest out here.
Yeah, that best of the West title, in my eyes, is 1000% the case. Some quick facts, some knowledge for y'all. 13-time top 3 Cash Cup champion, 3 times World Cup qualifier, 8-time FNCS top 3, second place in the qualifiers for this, first place in the last DreamHack Open. It is only right, it is only fitting that we are jumping on board with one of the GOATs of NA West, if not the GOAT of NA West, who's going to pick up a huge first elimination on Chap.
Yeah, first Elim onto Chap, actually taking that one away from Flois, who did most of the damage there, but Arkham just swinging around the side with that pistol able to pick it up. We talked about it, hey, we're in a pistol meta, the high rate of fire and the fact that it has that 2.0 headshot multiplier. It is unchanged compared to the assault rifle, makes it a very valuable weapon to pick up at different stages, regardless of what rarity it is. And now we have a 1v1 in Authority with Flois versus Arkham, but Arkham has the Vault Key, Arkham has the drum gun, he has the glider grapnel gun. So if I'm Flois, I'm trying to get whatever loot I can and then probably get out of here because I'm not sure he wins this fight against Arkham.
Yeah, especially Flois, a member of the European Fortnite community. I believe he's from Denmark, Fury Europe, alongside Skagen, I believe. So he is one of the infiltrators all the way across the pond, all the way across the U.S. playing in NA West is Flois. If he can somehow take out Arkham to kick things off here, that would be a huge, huge win. Of course, it's very difficult to do on the high ping that he's currently playing on.
Difficult in general, man, regardless of ping. Does not matter. Like, you could be on 0 ping and you could probably give Arkham an extra 20 or 30 and I'll still probably take him 7 times out of 10. But what Flois is doing is he's trying to make it to a point where Arkham's not going to be able to react. He's in an area where it's very difficult to actually build over any of that. If he's able to drop down on him and get the first shot, he could potentially end the fight before Arkham has the ability to react. However, if Arkham does react, he has the superior loadout and the HP advantage right now, as well as going to be able to get, all the way topped off here, utilizing the fact that he did swap over into that agent of the authority, is able to kind of get access to those extra chests and now top himself off there.
Yeah, that's exactly right. As has been common, he's actually not going to opt not to pick up Joel's drum gun. It's been kind of a choice, a very popular choice for a lot of these players. One interesting thing about this drop from Arkham, typically he lands Rickety Rig. He changes it up here and decides to land Authority. Looks like Flois is playing extra sneaky, but I wonder if that's a change up for the day, if we're going to expect that in the grand finals, or if that's just for those 1,500 player qualifiers. He probably recognizes, hey, there's maybe not the best caliber of players. There's maybe down to like tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. I'm going to play Authority, play for more eliminations. I have confidence in these fights. I do wonder if we will see Epic Whale, Scented, and Arkham in the final. But here comes a fight. He's going to get caught with his pants down. And just like that, the patience going to pay through for Flois, the European god from Denmark, coming all the way across the pond and taking out one of our favorites early.
And that's what we were talking about. So the way that trap ends up working is directly in front of the vault. You are unable to build. You're unable to put anything down to react, which means Arkham needed to get over towards the side. Flois dropping down directly on top of him. The high rate of fire attack against the charge early means the first shot is actually that much more advantageous because he's able to follow up with the second. He gets both of those. It gets the vault key, gets the glider grapple gun, and honestly, in a really good spot now. Both Chap and Arkham falling early here.
Crazy. And who would have thought? If you would have told me those 3 land Authority, Flois ends up on top, I would have told you you're crazy in game number 1. But a good start, undoubtedly, for Flois. Again, infiltrating all the way from Europe. Having the glider gun now will give him basically free rotations towards endgame. Will give him basically an opportunity, if he gets hit by a shockwave launcher in that late game, to recover to get back in circle. He's going to be in a pretty great position. We'll keep a close eye on him, as right now he's just going to be looting up and chilling, as it looks like there's no one else near Authority.
He just needs to farm metal. Like he said, if he can farm up like a solid amount of metal, like he really doesn't need to be looting in terms of upgrades. He can, but like, yeah, boom, he is going to get an upgraded AR there. However, he has enough in terms of both loot and utility where his focus needs to be on just securing as much metal in this area as possible, because there's not a ton and it takes a while to farm. If he's able to do that and get center zone, he's going to set himself up pretty successfully for the late game. But right now, I think he's tunneling a little bit too much. I'm trying to find upgrades when he's already in a pretty good spot now. Swapping on over to MG Hart, a little blobby boy floating down the river. You can see in the bottom right-hand corner a couple players nearby. Parenthal in his view just over the corner. He should not know he's there yet, however. If he does come right up over the top, he'll be immediately in view of him.
I just saw Rich Homie Quinn, a.k.a. Extra Quinn, at the top left of the screen. He's in this lobby as well, so we'll keep a close eye on him, as he did get top 15, I believe 14th place yesterday in his qual. Meanwhile, it's going to be the Blobby Blue getting tagged up quite a bit here as Hart by Parenthal. So a little bit of a fight outside of what we all know is risky reels between Hart and Parenthal. And of course, Parenthal does have the advantage to start things off in terms of health.
Has the advantage in terms of health. It looks like he will have a positional advantage as well. We have Tank Top MG also now rotating just around, kind of in a similar path on the bottom right-hand corner. He's going around the outside. He's going to take a couple tags in the back, as players are just kind of staking out whatever claim they can by risky reels. There's a lot. Risky reels, honestly, I think should be a little higher in priority for players as the rest of Solos develop, because of the amount of metal that's there. It's really, really advantageous if you can rotate through there and guarantee a lot of that quickly, because it's one of the fastest ways you can get in that situation. However, right now, you can see some shots being traded out, but nobody committing really too hard. Still 81 players left in the lobby.
Yeah, this is where you can tell. We are in semifinals territory. Yesterday, this would have undoubtedly been an elimination by now. This time around, not so much. Players just have that much level of respect for one another. To place top 750 yesterday, you have to be pretty gifted. So you're going to respect almost every single person in this lobby, of course, unless you're the likes of the Arkhams, the Epic Whales in the world, who really are in an S tier above everyone else, you got to think. We're excited to see what some of these other individuals will do. Currently on board with Tank Top in the same vicinity, working towards Authority, Salty Springs, and might be somewhat nearby Flois, who does have that glider gun from Authority, as people are going to start descending on Authority. I wonder if Flois is still nearby.
Yeah, and right now, everyone's just kind of staking out whatever claim they can. The key, particularly around this early rotation, is once you have your initial fights, you're not going to see a ton of engagements going off in the bottom left-hand corner. You can see a nice little replay going off that's in another lobby. Good guy, Nani, picking up an Elam there on the distinct hoist, as we have Tank Top getting an advantage shot onto MG Hart right as he comes out of the porta potty. Not where you want to get caught, literally with the pants down, coming out of the pooper, but going down to there. MG Hart, porta potty, not quite going to be advantageous, as Tank Top now will get all those mats over, all the excess shield and utility, and he's pretty much set. He can begin his rotation into the middle.
Yeah, that's a great point, and some good loot to his name. Flopper's obviously helpful for late game, and Flopper meta still pretty strong. Not as strong as it once was, but still pretty strong. We saw Nani get the elimination in the replay there. Nani got 47th in qualifier number 2 yesterday. Not that we judge, but, you know, qualifier 2 versus qualifier 1 tends to have a somewhat less stacked type of overall player pool, but that was a little bit different yesterday because we did have the Cash Cup kind of conflict with heat number 1. So we saw players like Krizix, who's, by the way, Krizix, another player to look out for me. Had a great interview with him yesterday. Big shout out to the Colombian American as he came out with the Cash Cup win, came and qualified yesterday, so we'll keep an eye on him as well. But we do have the kind of differences between Heat 2 qualifiers and Heat 1 qualifiers. We'll keep it all updated on as well. Currently on board with O2 Union.
Yeah, I would say yesterday was probably the farthest it would be in terms of there being a difference, because it's not just a player pool that fully turns over with so many people who were playing in the Cash Cup, and then also the number of big names who ended up falling and from Heat 1 and opted to play there and ended up not qualifying. I think in this situation right now, Union, who is also Pinto Bean Union from July's DreamHack, we saw him just a couple weeks ago. He's in a good opportunity to rotate. You have Plate just behind him. What we're seeing is players who are making sure they have their early game drops, securing all the materials, and are playing to the format. Everybody realizing, hey, I have to get to the top 50. I need to be in a good spot. And unfortunately, you can be in a good spot. You can do all the things right. And if you don't get that first little advantage shot down, you can sometimes get punished. And Shoddy hitting a great little hunting rifle shot, tries to make it a double, but unfortunately, the Hill is going to eat that one up there. And he's just going to walk away with the spoils right now and try and figure out his loadout real quick.
Just imagine a world he turns and gets the double elimination right there, hits the beautiful hunting rifle quick shot, and instead he misses the second one, but got a first one on Union, who did get top 46, I believe, 46th to 47th place at the last DreamHack tournament. So this time won't have as great of luck as he starts very poorly here. Not how he would have wanted here in this initial 74 players still alive. We are on par, on pace for a stacked lobby early on, as we kind of talked about in the pre-show. Shoddy is contributing to one of the eliminations in this lobby as he's currently making his rotation over. He needs to be careful. Look at the mini-map. There's 5 or 6 people nearby. Flo is still nearby in Authority. Or sorry, in Lazy Lake. Got my bearings off there, but Shoddy needs to be careful on these rotations.
Yeah, and realistically, you're going to see some shots going down here as Storm Surge could potentially come into play. Only 4 more players need to be knocked down before it really does turn on, which for some of these longer rotations, you can anticipate there might be some combat. However, because we are going down towards Lazy Lake, a lot of rivers, as you see Outcast Tricks right now, do lead directly kind of into this pool, which leads for a little bit easier rotations just getting to this area in terms of where it is on the map. So you might not see as many people fall, which could contribute to a stacked an endgame, as we do see the 74th player does fall. 73 players left remaining. A little Storm Surge warning comes out. Trix gets tagged right there, though. Eats the hunting rifle shot. It is a body, but he's going to be forced to burn through. At minimum, his minis, probably both his chug splashes, unless he just wants to take this fight. We do have a replay coming in the bottom left-hand corner. Cypress eliminating eye drop.
Yeah, Tricks, another qualifier from last time around. I'm going to try and get a shot off. Would have liked to gotten some more early damage there, but not enough damage, so he's going to try not to take this fight. Opts instead for a rotation, but he needs to be careful because the third party is coming through. Tricks with 2 eliminations already. That's a pretty fast start here for the qualifier from last DreamHack Open in July. If you're just watching for the first time, this is the second monthly DreamHack Open tournament. Another $250,000 at stake, so welcome. A lot of money as Tricks is trying to take his fair share of that money by getting a good first shot off on Santi. Not done yet. He's going to try and get inside his box. He does a good job of exactly that. Doesn't have the tactical shotgun to get in easier. He's going to be with a charged shotgun, so he's going to be forced to play a little bit differently in this box fight.
Santi getting backed off there, and Tricks cleaning it up easily once he had the pressure. Santi, unfortunately, kind of a weird, he was the one who chased and looked to engage that fight. Not sure what signal made him go, if he was that desperate. Didn't look like it might have been the need for mats. However, gets cleaned up there, and Tricks being pushed up to now his 3rd elimination. Plenty of shields, also has the RPG in play, so he's sitting pretty and has kind of a little excess cachet he can sit on for a bit.
That's exactly right. Gold AR, blue charge shotgun, purple RPG, and some solid shields, and some additional resources right below him if he decides to stay here. And if he gets lucky and the circle ends up rotating near him, we'll see if that's the case in a moment. It's about 7, 8, maybe 9 people nearby on the minimap. Needs to be a little bit careful. Looks like one person's coming right below him. He hears him building up. He's trying to bait perhaps some of this loot, staying quiet, staying sneaky. Will Tricks decide to continue to play with aggression because he's clearly feeling himself right now, but in my eyes, not the right decision. Sundown is there's so many people nearby, you risk the third party.
You don't want to risk it. You will see the initial zone. He's kind of close to it, but he has a number of players right on top of that catty corner mountain he's going to have to worry about. So we now switch on over to Y. We see Nexi, Playbo, Outcash. Playbo right now going to begin his rotation. These guys are on the far side of the zone. You can see he's trying to white line it right now and make it kind of towards these old builds and use the natural structures to limit how much he has to spend. Using his wood and just trying to sneak through a little bit, potentially. Looking for an ambush right now. Couple shots being traded out, some tags going through, not quite finding it. Fikoi had a really good performance as well yesterday. Is just sitting on top of Clayboy, so needs to be careful when getting out of this rotation.
By the way, Sundown, is it just me or just seeing the name Nexi in general give you all types of good feelings? Shout out to our man Nexi from way back in the day in the Epic Games created Gears of War tournament scene and esports scene. Was a big tournament organizer for us back then.
Yeah, he's doing a bunch of music production stuff now. Still, yeah. Check him out every now and then. Has some good stuff. Pretty big fan.
Yeah, been fun
particularly
to
more
watch.
towards, yeah, I mean, I'm big into the end, so it goes that way. So is DreamHack, though, as we've seen, ended up having a great show at DreamHack Anaheim, checking out some of the guys who played there. But right now, Claybo is looking to potentially put on a show. But I really like this rotation because it's kind of a passive bout in rotation. That's the part that you can tell he's kind of trying to snipe out Magra here and wants to get some damage down, potentially for the next Storm Surge. As you can see, we have 69 players remaining, so we're below that 70 threshold. But once we kind of get into the next Storm Zone, if a number of players haven't gone down, you're going to need tags that could be threatening. Claybo, I don't think he's seen any interaction. Just here's the whizzing of that hunting rifle go by him, and he's like, I'm going to head towards the zone using those downhill rivers we had talked about earlier.
Yeah, River's one of the best rotations. Solid rotation, a little bit more safe than normal. So we talk about the fact that there's not a ton of mobility in Chapter 2. However, he's watched his flank. He's going to be a missed shot. The Rivers definitely do help with rotations and with some mobility. But Claybo decided not to take that shot on Magra, which is surprising, and he's going to get punished instead with a hunting rifle shot coming through from the Mechanical King, showing his mechanical prowess by picking up one elimination with the hunting rifle straight to the head of Claybo.
Yeah, and one thing, particularly when rotating in Fortnite, if you're going to drop down into a canyon or a ravine, you have to be covering yourself if you're standing still. All of these players are too good, both with ARs and with hunting rifles, and there's so many of them available on the map that if you are standing still at any point in time and you're in one of those available sight lines, somebody's going to hit you. You're going to have to burn some form of utility, and in this instance, the form of utility is going to be one of your games. In this DreamHack semifinal, you have 3 hours and 10 games you can queue up. He's going to have to burn another one of them, and that's going down without any eliminations, without any placement points. That's a solid about 15 minutes of just wasted time.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Always have to be cautious, especially in those circumstances of rotations. By the way, Sundown, I'm pretty sure you are an expert of every single biome and descriptions of every piece of geography in Fortnite. Yesterday, he dropped estuary. Today, he's dropping ravine, canyon. My man Sundown knows every single location in Fortnite and great vocabulary to suit. As we're currently on board with Tricks. He's dropped that big shield a little bit earlier for 3 extra minis. And, you know, it makes sense. You're towards late game. You're not going to really have a lot of time to pop that big shield. I'm not sure. So, now, do you agree with that?
No, I keep the big pot here. Just because if like being tagged, the minis are going to be great. There's no way you're going to use 9 minis in this circumstance. And if you are, you probably did something wrong. Whereas having the option to get back up to full shield in one of those circumstances, I think would probably be the right decision. But now you can see Flois, who did leave the authority just on the side there of Trix. Trix will box up right on the edge of the zone, pushes forward, charge shot, finds it, say my name, I said it, and you can go Q back up. He gets taken down 4 elims now for Trix.
Trix continues with the theme of aggression here. That's the one word to describe his play. I think he is undoubtedly the elimination leader in this lobby with 4. I can't think of anyone that has more than him. Just keeping an eye on the kill feed all game. On board with Penguin now. Penguin, of course, been fun to watch in his qualifiers yesterday. We'll see what he can do. 0 eliminations to his name. Only 55 total builds to his name, and a harpoon gun still this late in the game. Not the ideal situation for Penguin in terms of loadout. And as we have him making a quick rotation through. Looks like he'll be right on the flank of Epic Fab right now with an opportunity to play aggressive here and get a much-needed elimination for him as he needs the resources and he needs the shield and the siphoning.
Thanks to Stretch picking up an E-limit down there on Little in one of our other lobbies. But right now, Penguin trying to hawk towards his backside. He is above the damage threshold for Storm. So you see the lobby starting to spark off as Fecoy picks up an Elim. Mojo gets one as well. Penguin going to use that launch pad to continue working up towards this Caddy Mountain, which is one of the harder finishes in the game. Eats a big charge shot towards his back there. Going to try and return the favor, but that player got third party from the side. However, Penguin not able to capitalize that. Epic Fab picking it up. 87 HP though, so he needs to be careful. Does have the stair edited in front of him. And he needs to get back over towards the zone as the other player is going to opt to disengage, and he has no white heals to help deal with his HP. So he's going to need to get in his zone and box himself up here as we do wait for the replay to catch up a little bit. And here we go. Crashpad going to help him move a little bit more centrally. He's going to try and get some form of space in this little rat race right now, but needs to be careful.
Yeah, I thought he would want to take a fight there, but he was just using that crash pad wisely to get center circle to give himself a slightly better position on the rotation. Wise decision is Epic Fab, who says, hey, I know you're on my 6, Penguin. I've been tracking you the whole time. You didn't even know it. He actually gets the elimination on Penguin when I thought Penguin was able to maybe potentially catch him with his pants down. So nice job by Epic Fab. So far, so good. Only 17 builds total to his name, though. So that's going to be very difficult for him on these rotations. He is above the threshold, but you do just barely as you do see the Storm Surge come through.
Yeah, and he should be safe with only 3 more players going down. I can't imagine there's that many players who are above him. However, it could end up being pressured at the last moment, and if he does, he's going to be in a tough position with only the 2 minis. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Storm Surge, the way the damage works is the player who has done the least amount of damage and tags to opponents will be hit with purple lightning from the sky. It does 25 damage every 10 seconds. So that is a mini every 10 seconds, and if you can't make up that damage, you will be eliminated. In Epic Fab eats a big charge shotgun shot there to go down to 35 HP. Gavgen picks up Baka in the Storm. Storm Surge turns off. Next, he picks up a lot of roads there on the side. Epic Fab is trying to get some form of space to pop those minis, but still going to be struggling here. Follow 85 HP as now we begin getting placement points as we're into the top 50.
Yeah, and a risky rotation right there. He had to take it from Epic Fab. 1 headshot dink as he was in midair. Would have taken him out. No one was able to get the shot, though, surprisingly. Now on board with Trix. Still with 4 eliminations, so he's slowed down a little bit as he was red hot on fire earlier, playing with such aggression. But expect Trix to pick up a few more limbs here. He's feeling himself. He's off to a good game. Clearly put some warm-ups in. He cranked some 90s and creatives and got himself ready for this one as he has Wicked right in front of him with only about 45 total HP to Wicked's name. And Wicked actually gets eliminated right in front of his eyes. And guess what? It's going to be Outcast Trix, who's going to get all the loot of Wicked. He's okay with that. He would like to have the elimination, but all those resources, I'm sure he's great with. Look at his mats right now. About 1,200 mats total to his name.
Yeah, he needs to be careful, though, in terms of which ones he's using. He doesn't want to burn through too much of his metal right now, given his positioning. Should probably be looking to use a little bit of the soft mats just in the intern part of the build so he's not too exposed. We can get a wide shot right now. So many players are trying to maintain positive positioning on the mountain, but as we get forced away from it, the barrage of crash pads just come out, and everyone, it's Bouncy Castle 2.0, race to the finish line. Who's going to get there first? As Fab picks up 1, Trix picks up a number of headshots over there on the side, gets the elimination onto Vigoon, getting revenge for Nexi. Insta launchpad into the crash, going to get bonked on the top of his head, but the short pad helps him out a little bit, is able to cover himself as every single player who drops will be an additional point. He's doing plenty fine in terms of the elimination threshold. Replay will catch up a little bit there as Trix now moves himself farther edge of the zone, and Epic Fab catches a double elim in the feed right there. So he's starting to catch up himself now up to 4. Trix on 5, but needs to be careful.
Yeah, that's what's nice about these rotations is you can get a few picks, especially for someone like Epic Fab who needed it for health, who needed it for mats, who needed it for resources. You can be put in a good position. That fish is going to keep him alive momentarily, the flopper, but this zone is so rough. You talked about it earlier, Sundown. A zone towards Caddy Corner, up the mountain where you have to traverse with low mats is next to impossible, as finally Epic's going to get taken out. Trix, though, is popping off. Can he get the double? Yes, he does. 2 big eliminations make it 7 for Trix in a pretty stacked lobby, in a pretty stacked end game. 7 limbs is huge, and guess what? He's not done yet. Still 22 other players in this game. He's going to get himself a nice little high ground. As I say that, gets knocked towards low ground, but a great start for Trix.
Tricks are for kids, but eliminations are for Trix, as he's now on to number 7 with the high ground positioning, doing a good job with the RPG of pressuring the players who might be able to threaten him. He hasn't received a whole lot of fire other than the concentrated fights he's had in front of him. As now we swap on board to Renthile on the low ground, trying to clean up one of these 2 fights. He has a player on either side of him, but no build, so he has to go straight forward up the side of the mountain. He's able to find a huge elimination onto Taiwo, but not able to find any of the builds, so still at the mercy of the other players. Finds a second, but is then getting sprayed. Gets a number of builds, and quickly, great reaction coming up from Parenthal, but he will go down as Trix picks up number 8, and we pop back in with him.
Yeah, beautiful picture right there as we saw Trix was the one that eliminated Parenthal. Someone else still alive, I believe, is Flois. I'm looking right now. Maybe we've gotten taken out since I last checked, as Quinn is in this lobby as well. We said it earlier. It was a little bit of foreshadowing. I know the future, as Quinn's still alive in this one still well. Trix is not done yet. He's going to connect for yet another elimination. Make it 9. Can he get the double digits? Yes, he does. It's going to be on Quinn. No, almost gets the pick on Quinn. Not able to do so. That would have been 10. Yeah, he's not done yet. He knows he has Quinn hurt. Quinn is in a horrible position. He's finally going to get taken out. Trix can get another. That's 10. Not done yet. 4 other players in this lobby. Will we have picked the right player? Will we pick the player that makes it to a victory royale? Trix certainly wants to say yes. He's going to get a great shot on 1. Someone else can pick up the elimination instead.
Someone else picking that one up. You still have Flois just living barely by the hair of his teeth. The crash pad into the middle of the zone and now just playing his life. But Trix picking up a huge elimination there onto him. Finally, Flois goes down in top 4, taking away the authority, able to pick that up. Trix tries to go up in the high ground. You have Trix in the top right-hand corner. Defiable in the bottom right. He has the glider gun, so that's going to be the play. Mojo currently out in the storm using the floppers. RPG comes down, and Defiable going to be the benefactor of that one, but he's now stuck out in the storm with limited builds. He used the glider gun, but good trades coming out from Trix, and this should be all but sealed. RPGs on the high ground, 11 eliminations. Can he make it 12 in the victory royale?
And guess what? He also has a shockwave launcher to his name. So Trix, who we've watched pop off since mid-game, is well suited to close this one out. Shockwave launcher to send him flying. Or does he want to win this with an RPG instead? Looks like he's going to do it the old-fashioned way, pushing with aggression. He's probably take out that shotgun. Needs to be a little bit cautious here. Doesn't want to get one-tapped by a charged shotgun, as he has the shockwave launcher. He has the high ground. He just needs to slow play this, and he should have the victory royale, Sundown.
Defiable has a hunting rifle. That's his only chance. He needs it. Oh! He hit him too! He hit him!
Oh my gosh. Can you believe it? We almost saw Defiable do the unthinkable. Instead, it was Trix who did it from the mid-game all the way to the late game. 12 eliminations in a victory royale. That is a massive game for Trix in game number 1. That's got to put him in a great spot. We're going to have some more Fortnite action. Game 1 was heated. Game 2 will be even better right after this.